Hello everyone, I wanted to come on and talk about a suffix that is getting everyone a little bit, mixed up. And that is the suffix, what we know as tion and sion. And actually, I want to tell you that is not the suffix. The actual suffix is ion. So, how come we keep spelling it with a T at the start and an S at the start? Well, a lot of that has to do with we have morphed that base word in with the suffix. So, if we have a look at the word construction, for instance, if you actually have a look at the base word of construction, the base word is actually construct. Do you see where the T belongs? It belongs to the base word, not to the suffix. Have a look at this word, discussion. Where does the S actually belong? It's not to the suffix, it belongs to the base word. Have a look at the word action. Where does that T belong? Does it belong to the suffix? No, it belongs to the base word. And you can see here that it's ion is the actual suffix. So let's have a look at that ion and unpack what each of those letters is telling us. So when we have a look at ion, the N is making its correct phoneme. What we see there is the N, what we hear is that N sound at the end. Now the O is a schwa sound. Here in New Zealand, we pronounce that O as a sound, but in other countries, it's more pronounced as an sound, making the short, the short U sound. You can hear that in New Zealand when we say action. You can hear that sound. The I in the suffix ion, that is known as a phonological marker. And what that is doing is it is telling us that we need to pronounce the suffix a little differently. If we didn't have that I then, and we have, say, the word action, what we would actually have is acton. Acton. So that I is a phonological marker that tells us that we combine the last sound, the last phoneme of the base word, to combine it into more of a sh sound or a zh sound. And that is what that I's purpose is. So when we're looking at the morphology of the word, the suffix is ion and it's attached to the base word. But that T and the S that often is at the beginning of jin does belong to the base word. But there is a difference, of course. Why is it that we teach it with tion and sion? Well, that's because it's a syllable. So we can hear the two syllables in action, action, and but that is different to a suffix. So if we're talking about pronunciation, that T is going to belong to the ion because that's the way we pronounce it. But when we're looking at morphology, of course, it is not a suffix. Okay, tion and sion are not suffixes. That's a syllable. It's a syllable unit. So when you're teaching morphology, of course, we look at the base word and then we're adding on ion. So I hope that helps to clear up some of that. I'm going to put some words on the screen in a minute that show you how the words, the S or the T belong to the base word. So check it out and happy teaching, everyone.